I don't predict very often.
Write it down.
I think we are going to hit 500,000 as our median
this year,
based on us seeing the month over month increase year over year, and now we're at 420 where we were at 400 before. Yeah. I mean, the odds of us hitting 500 as our average sales price are probably pretty high.
Let's get rolling. We're talking about the stats for 2022 February. Who's ready? All right. We first wanted to talk about...
We are growing our team this year, and we are adding more agents. If you are out there and you're in sales or you're looking at real estate interests you, there is a career with our team. So please give us a call. We'd love to talk about all the options. Or if you know someone who you think would be an amazing real estate agent, give us a call.
There is always that person. It's like, you would be so good at real estate. Well, guess what? Usually that person is really good at real estate. So connect us with them.
If someone's going to spend 40 hours on a job, they can make great money if they'll spend 40 hours a week in real estate.
Well, let's talk about what's happening with housing, right? We can't control it. We can just watch it. Last month of February 2022 compared to last year, 2021, there was a small decrease. Not a huge one. We just went down from 171 to 168. This is an interesting one because over the last few years, we have seen that 100,000 and less disappear. We're now in the big numbers of 200 plus to 400 is really where we're seeing the bulk. But now we're even seeing into the 500 as much as the 200 to 300 range. And the days on the market, things are really going pretty quick. And so the average price tells you a lot about in between these. But look at those big numbers. This one is super interesting to me. One house, 5 days. 3 houses in 3 days, 700,000 to 800,000. So there's some nice houses out there selling. They're selling fast, and prices just keep increasing. So we're going to start talking about affordability as well. So year to date, the homes sold 364 this year. We had a bit of an increase from last year in these 3 counties. 15% more homes.
And that is year to date, so January, February.
Right. So year over year, I think we were seeing 34%. Now we're seeing 24%.
We were at about 20 last month as well. So is that starting to slow down? At least we're not in the 30s, that 20s. We'd like to bump the brakes even a little bit more on that.
Yeah.
But this is February. Yeah. I mean, this isn't when it even really starts hitting. I mean, it starts hitting in April, May, June. So, I mean, the odds of us flattening out are not looking good.
Yeah.
So
Could be a little seasonality, right?
Yeah. I don't predict very often.
Write it down.
I think we are going to hit 500,000 as our median.
This year?
Based on us seeing the month over month increase year over year. And now we're at 420 where we were at 400 before. Yeah. I mean, the odds of us hitting 500 as our average sales price are probably pretty high.
Let's leave it at that. We're not fortune tellers. But we know that the compression is still happening, right? Small inventory, big demand. There's a problem with demand in the market which pushes prices up. So we're seeing an overall 417 right now as our average price. The annual market overview average price, you can see in 2017, 193, nearly double, right? Or exactly double on them, whatever that math is. But we are at 380 and 221.
That's hard to see a 100% increase over a 5-year period. That's why a lot of people, you're seeing a lot of complaining around town. This is too much. It's unaffordable because 5 years, 100% is a steep climb.
Well, whose income has doubled in the last 5 years? Right?
Probably only realtors.
Oh, hello. So if your income hasn't doubled in the last 5 years, like housing expenses, you could be feeling some affordability issue, right? And so you probably will rent longer. You may live with family, you co-occupy with a friend, that type of thing, just to get your housing done.
Now, we're seeing a lot of starting wages in Idaho Falls. I don't know if everyone else is seeing that. It's kicking up. You're already seeing where we are having to pay more for entry-level workers. It's getting to $14, $15, $17 an hour.
And that's good, but what is inflation doing?
Right?
Right? As the dollar weakens, even though you're getting 17 an hour, now things cost more, especially gas today. I just got an email, 90 cents increase on a gallon of gas.
Woo!
So let's look at list to sell price. So this year, we're actually seeing a bit of a decrease, not quite flat, but 1%. You can expect if you list your house for $100,000, today you're going to get $100,680. Last year, you could have got an extra $1,000 or 1%. And so we're seeing a little bit of a release there based on competitiveness. Instead of 15 offers per house, maybe we're only seeing 5 or 6. And so that's kind of the reflection of that. 2022, the year to date, we are seeing quite a decrease in list to sell price. So we are getting a little bit of relief. Inventory is increasing a little bit. We're getting some people that are willing to sell at list price.
Now, at that same time, we're heading into the hot market. If buyers that were hanging out before, we may not have that thing. We're moving into that hot market and make it a little more competitive.
Yeah. But look at what's happening with days on the market. Nothing's changing, right? Things are still selling. There just isn't quite as much activity right now. Actually seeing a little bit of increase for the year to date. That last one was just the month of February, right? Yep. I'll go back to that. So that's just February. But year to date, we're seeing a little bit of an increase. And 2 days might not seem like a lot, and it probably isn't, but it is something. And so we want to keep an eye on everything just that may make a difference. If that all of a sudden pops up to 120, what do you think that means? 120 days on the market. Things are taking a long time to sell. What does that mean?
We're in a buyer's market.
We may be flipping to a buyer's market. We're a long way from there, right? We're still in a seller's market. So here's the annual days on the market. We used to be 54, and you can see it's steadily decreasing. We may be at the same 22 in 22, but we're not really predicting that. Rates are going to stay low. We've gone up a little bit in rate. We haven't seen quite the decline in buyer activity, and so we're probably going to keep seeing a tight market there. Turn it over to Chad.
Yeah. All right, so snapshots. So let's kind of take a look at where things are just overall, kind of condense some of these stats. So we're kind of looking at average price per square foot. And again, this is Bonneville, Bingham, and Jefferson County. Of all the homes that are selling, we're looking at about $174 a foot on average. Average square footage, the home's about 2,500 square feet. And the average size of a lot that's selling is just a little over a half acre, 0.6.
So, Chad, I might mention when I pulled all these stats, those average square foot and average lot, when I looked at year to date and looked past years, that is pretty consistent. So I haven't added that over because pretty much every time I pulled it, this is it. We are on an average area. Our homes are about 2,500 square feet. Average acreage is about 0.6.
All right, so basically the average square foot and the lot size isn't really changing. What we're seeing is demand is price per square foot's going up considerably. So in February, we had 206 homes that came on the market, and 215 homes went pending. And so,
what does what pending mean, Chad?
Pending means it went under contract. A buyer wrote an offer to a seller, and they both signed a contract saying, we're going to sell this house together with you as the buyer and us as the seller. That's pending. So we had more homes that went pending than we did that went on the market. And that could only go on for so long. So 206 homes came on the market. 15 of those closed in February, meaning 15 of those were quick sales. They wrote an offer and closed within a few weeks. Average list price of those, $477,000.
When we put that average list price, that is, of those homes that came on, that's what we're seeing in those, just that home that hit the market, not the average of the whole, just those ones that entered.
Yep. 215 went pending. 16% or 35 of those actually came back on the market. The deal fell apart and it went back on the market. We'd love to see that number go down.
So it did go down. It was 28 last month.
Yeah. Average list price, $451,000.
So if I could just mention the difference between those two, the ones that came on were at 471. They're putting them on the market. But the ones that actually got under contract, that was at
451. Yep. All right. So in our overall area from Bingham to Jefferson County, there's 133 homes currently on the market. Last month we had 130. So we are maintaining that number plus 2%. And absorption rate, we're sitting at 23 days or 3.4 weeks on the market. We're getting close to the 1 month. Can we keep it at close to a month or higher as we go into spring? I mean, we're going to find out, but that's still a really low rate, higher than it was before, but we'll see where that goes.
So,
it's a
Chad,
delicate
just an
number.
explanation of that absorption rate. If no new houses come on the market this month, how long would it take to sell what we have on the market based on what's sold? So that if anybody's wondering what that is, it's just an indicator of the pressure on the market.
It's a very important number for us to follow as we try to figure out what type of market we're in. It's an indicator for us. Let's look at these numbers here. So basically, this is what's currently active. And what we're seeing again here, very interesting, it used to be kind of the majority of the market was sitting in between that 200 and 500,000, which is still the case, but we're seeing that 500 to 600,000, and even now 600 to 700,000 is gaining traction. More homes are getting on that in that market level, and more homes are selling in that level. They weren't necessarily selling before, so our market is moving upward. All right. As far
What's
as
really on that, Chad, if you look at the very bottom, above $1 million.
yeah.
Take a look. I mean, how long has it been since we had 11 homes above $1 million in Idaho?
I don't
Well,
think
and
our
when did
county?
we ever have homes over 2 million, period?
Right.
And we have 3. So then as we look at our pending listings, there are 348 pendings. Average sales price of those is $436,000. Again, we're trending upward. Average price per square foot of those is $195. Average days on market is 30. Let's deep dive into Idaho Falls, the city of Idaho Falls. And when we say the city of Idaho Falls, what we're doing is we're gathering data from the 5 high schools in Idaho Falls: Skyline, IF, Hillcrest, Bonneville, and Thunder Ridge. So when we look in those areas, there are 78 homes available in the market in Idaho Falls area. Smaller absorption rate, 2.8 weeks, meaning there's less inventory, and only 19 days of inventory overall. As we look at how that is spread out, again, we're seeing the highest number right now is between 500 and 600,000. Those are the most amount of homes on the market is in that range. But it's interesting to see where the market's kind of trending. But anyway, again, we kind of have our baseline at 500 or under.
I mean, we have twice as much inventory above $500,000 than below.
All right, last slide here for as far as stats go. In the Idaho Falls market, we have 217 homes pending. The average price is $442,000. Average price per square foot, 173 basically, and days on market is 20. So it is a moving market. We are trending upwards. Inventory is coming, but not as much as we want to try to level out pricing. We're seeing that if you wait 6 months from now to buy, odds are you're going to be paying more. So
Absolutely. Shows it right there. If we trend for 24 months or 24% for the next year, that just means it's 2% every month.
yep.
That means the houses are going up 2% every month. And if rates go up and add that together, the longer you wait, the more expensive the houses, and it's not a long time, it's quick. So just want to mention on our community impact arm of our business, on the Nosy Neighbors, we visited some really cool places this past month. We went to Pristine Lash and Beauty Lounge, which is really cool. Lashes are a big thing. I'm not going to say anything about our team. We like lashes. We like lashes.
Yes, we do,
Yes,
right,
we do.
Chad?
Also, really interesting, Generations Insurance.
Sure.
We went and visited Generations, which I didn't know was about Medicare, helping people with Medicare, which was a really cool thing. Eagle Rock Gallery, the owner of Eagle Rock Gallery just put out a really cool coffee book of really neat local pictures and animals. If you want a really neat coffee book, down at Eagle Rock Gallery, they have a really cool one. Mountain River IV. This one blew my mind. How many of you guys have heard of IV therapy? Right?
College kids, right?
College kids. That is a different IV therapy, Jeremy. That is different. But I didn't know that you could go get, in the winter, we not talk about winter blues, you can go get a vitamin D shot to really help that. I really learned something new on that. And they have things for weight loss, for men's health, for COVID therapies. So really, really cool place. We did a little highlight on the, we shared it onto the Nosy Neighbors, but we did it on the Murdoch Men Ring of the Roof Max, extending the life of your roof, which was cool. And then Creation Station in Rigby, where she just does all things custom shirts, hats, and crafts. So very, very cool. Some really cool Nosy Neighbors this past month. And what we've got coming up, This next month is Mystic Misfits, which we're really excited to learn more about. A senior health group, Miles Heating, and then we have a new bookstore, Winnie and Mo's, that just opened up. So we're really excited to talk to those, and we'll have more added in as we go through the month. So check out our local businesses, and if you know anybody that needs a highlight that's a local independent business, send them our way. And that's the stats.
That's
Thanks
it.
for joining us.
Thanks,
All
everyone.
right.